This is the G Podcast Daily.
Today is Friday, November 3rd, and it is Feel Good Friday. Yes. There you go. And this is the G Podcast Daily, 5 minutes of news and knowledge to get you through your day. Let's get it, y'all.
Start the clock.
And on this day,
in 1905, artist and educator Lois Mailou Jones was born in Boston. In 1933, founder and first dean of the Morehouse School of Medicine, Louis Wade Sullivan, was born in Atlanta. In 1953, fashion designer Jeffrey Banks was born in Washington, D.C. And in 1983, Reverend Jesse Jackson announced his candidacy for President of the United States.
To each and every one of you today, right on.
Here's news from UNN with Alexander Caden.
This is UNN, Urban Network News, national news and information for one of our people of color. I'm Alexander Caden. Black residents in Alabama's Coffee County have accused state officials of misleading them to complete a highway project. Residents expressed concern that the expansion of U.S. Highway 84 caused extensive reoccurring flooding on their properties. In exchange, an ABC News investigation found that state authorities used an aggressive legal tool to prohibit current and future landowners from holding the state's government accountable in court. A federal judge dismissed Brett Favre's defamation lawsuit against fellow retired NFL player Shannon Sharpe, ruling that Sharpe used constitutionally protected speech on a sports broadcast when he criticized Favre's connection to a welfare misspending case in Mississippi. While incarceration rates in the United States increased by 700% between the 1970s and the early 2000s, a recent analysis from the Sentencing Project found that from 2000 to 2021, the imprisonment rate declined by 70% for black women and 48% for black males. Latino women witnessed an 18% reduction, Latino men had a 34% decline, white males saw a 27% decrease, and white women saw a 12% increase. Letters to 16 governors from the U.S. Department of Agriculture and Education says that states were required by law to provide an equitable distribution of funds between historically black institutions and formerly segregated white universities. This was never done. Instead, states use federal and state funds to create and maintain predominantly white public institutions. In some years, the historically black colleges received no money from the states, and in every single case, there was not a single historically black land-grant college that received any legally prescribed funding. If you'd like to hear UNN with a little flavor, then you need to listen to UINWA, Urban Internet News with Attitude. It's the real news. We just tell you some of it with a little flavor. It's adult content, and it's UINWA, Urban Internet News with Attitude. Visit our webpage at myunn.net and click the UINWA picture.
Episode 199, Rest in Peace, Richard Roundtree, is ready for you right now. Subscribe on your favorite podcast app or go to castropolis.net.
Your G clip of the day.
Jada go fade away, Pinkett Smith. You know, in the words of Shaka Khan, Tommy B, ain't nobody buying her book. It is number 173 on the Barnes & Noble list.
Listen to This is the G Podcast and subscribe. All links at castropolis.net. It's Feel Good Friday.
Here's a reason to feel good. The 200th episode of This is the G Podcast drops this Sunday, 6 p.m., yo! That's right, this Sunday, 6 p.m. Come on. And our special guest will be DC, the Brain Supreme from Tag Team.
We had other songs and other songs done well, so I kind of sat on it for a while. I didn't really realize what I had. And then one of the girls was like, how come you don't play Won't There It Is anymore? And I was like, I'll play it for you. Played it again, and it was the same thing. And then one of the record reps, Alan Cole, was like, man, give me that. You know, I'm going to take that to New York and let them hear it. And then shopped it for a deal. And then we got with Bellmark Records, and I left Magic. I gave my 2 weeks of Magic City, left Freaknik 93, and a month and a half we were platinum.
Join us this Sunday at 6 p.m. at castropolis.net or just go to our YouTube page. That's my Feel Good Friday. What's yours? Hit me up at castropolis.net. Head to the People Poll and leave us a message. We appreciate you stopping by, y'all. This is the G Podcast Daily. News and knowledge to help you get through your Feel Good Friday, November 3rd, 2023. Have a great day.
You've been listening to This is the G Podcast. This is the G Podcast is a production of the Castropolis Podcast Network. Thanks for listening.